more than $800,000. The grant it's tied to and the big chunk of change due next week.
Plus, a Southeast Texas nonprofit says it's out of funding, putting its mission to house veterans in need on hold. The plea for the community to step in.
And Nederland putting the brakes on e-bikes. Why city leaders say riders are crossing the line and the new consequences they could soon face. 12 News Daybreak starts now. Good morning, Southeast Texas. Thanks for waking up with Daybreak on 12 News Plus. I'm Tia Johnson.
And I'm Mark Armstrong. 7 o'clock right now. Let's go ahead and get a first look at your weather with meteorologist Jeff Gerber as we take a quick live look outside from our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network here above the 12 News studio in Beaumont. Jeff, looks a little overcast out there today. What's actually happening out there?
Yeah, we've got that low-level jet stream coming across us, and we're seeing some clouds from that. Probably not going to see much sunshine today. It's keeping us warmer this morning. Temperatures in the middle to upper 60s, some 70s out there as well. 67 right now in Beaumont and Port Arthur, and 66 in Orange, and 71 in Silsbee, 70 in Kirbyville, 68 in Jasper and Woodville, currently about 68 degrees. As we look up towards Jasper, you can see some low-level clouds there. Might see a little sun today, but not a lot. This camera up towards Jasper, brought to you by Provalis, part of the Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. As we look at our day planners, you can see temperatures into the upper 70s for today. Like I said, limited sunshine with southwesterly winds between 10 to 15, so it's going to be a little bit breezy. You'll see weather impact alert on all our graphics for this morning. That's because we do have a weather impact alert for Friday night going into Saturday morning because there's some pretty thick fog out there. We'll see low visibilities. Give yourself some extra time on Saturday morning if you're going to be traveling or whatever you're doing outside, maybe just doing some errands. Going to be looking at some pretty thick fog. We'll be talking more about that coming up in weather.
All right, thank you, Jeff. We have breaking international news this morning. Police in the UK, they have arrested former Prince Andrew on his 66th birthday.
Yeah, he's in custody for suspicion of misconduct in public office. Detectives are searching 2 addresses and assessing reports about his link to Jeffrey Epstein. Police mentioned allegations earlier this month that he'd passed confidential government documents to Epstein. Now in Texas, a story our friends in the Austin area will be following very closely today.
Yeah, this involves the brutal murders of 4 teenage girls back in 1991 who were bound, shot, and left burning in a yogurt shop. Now our sister station, they're going to be in the courtroom today as prosecutors ask a Travis County judge to declare 4 men innocent, saying they were wrongfully accused in this grisly crime. Maurice Pierce, Michael Scott, Robert Springsteen, and Forrest Wellburn, they were arrested back in 1998. But just last year, Austin police, they linked a known serial killer to these murders. The accused men and their attorneys say that this hearing is a step toward closure.
Is accountable. There were some horrible mistakes made in this case that are both bad judgment on individuals' parts and some maybe more systemic. So we want accountability and we want to reform.
And today's exoneration hearing, that's going to start at 9 a.m. Well, a passenger on a Delta flight leaving Hobby Airport yesterday morning is sharing his experience after he helped take down an unruly passenger.
He spoke about the terrifying incident with our sister station. Maria Aguilera has this story.
Scary moments for passengers just minutes after takeoff from Hobby Airport.
Yeah, that was wild.
That's Brian Escobedo, the man in the black jacket seen in the cell phone video, a Houston military veteran and Purple Heart recipient who stepped in when he saw trouble on board.
We just took off maybe 5 minutes into the flight, and I noticed that a gentleman behind me bumped my shoulder and was kind of rushing toward the cockpit.
Then he heard screams, saw flight attendants distressed, and a man lunging across seats. Escobedo turned to a flight attendant, asked if he should step in, and jumped into action.
I jumped on him and started pulling it back. I ripped his shirt off. I didn't mean to do that, but I was trying to get a hold of him.
Other passengers jumped in. He says a flight attendant restrained the man with zip ties. The man surrendered, and they held him down until landing. Escobedo says he's fine, but the real impact was on the passengers caught in the chaos.
One woman came back with ice in her face, and you could tell that she got hurt, and they were pretty shooken up.
For Escobedo, the decision to step in was simple.
The guy was going to the cockpit, so it has to stop. And sometimes you think, well, why me? And it has to be you. If you can do it, you must do it, right? If you have the ability to help and take somebody down, you have to do it. And if you do it, other people are going to follow.
That was Maria Aguilera reporting. According to Delta Airlines, the flight later continued on to Atlanta. Police haven't said whether charges will be filed.
All right, developing back here at home, Newton County has to pay the state back to the tune of a hefty $806,000. That's all tied to a flood buyback grant and stems from 7 homes that were damaged by floods in 2018 and 2020. Now, they were bought using grant funds for the homes that were not demolished in time. County Commissioner Bubba Powell says the county had originally applied for extensions on the demos, receiving them for 2 years, but then they were denied in 2023. Now the county has to pay it back with $225,000 due by Tuesday. Powell says the county is moving forward with a payment plan.
The county has accepted the debt, and county officials are aligned on paying back the money that is said to be owed by TDM.
And the court, or the commissioner's court, they're going to meet next week to determine which fund to use to pay back this debt. Meanwhile, the Sabine River Authority, they are also seeking nearly $400,000, claiming funds were issued for homes that were never purchased. So county attorneys, they are reviewing that request as well. And if both repayments stand, the total cost could reach nearly $1.2 million.
A Southeast Texas nonprofit says it's out of funding, putting its mission to provide housing for veterans in need on hold. Veterans Village is a tiny home community in Kirbyville. 12 News reporter Ebony Coleman spoke to Stephanie Tadlock, who helped create it. She says they're desperate for help.
So far, Stephanie Tadlock with Rural Homeless Network says they've built 10 tiny homes. It's halfway to their goal of 20, but she says progress has stalled. They've hit a brick wall.
It breaks my heart to have to, consistently say, yes, we have plans to build the next 10 homes, but due to funding, it's put on hold right now.
Stephanie Tadlock, Executive Director of Rural Homeless Network, says her dream of providing homes to veterans has been put on pause. This land that was supposed to be the final phase of the Veterans Village sits empty.
We have had some amazing donors that have come in and contributed again significantly to this organization. But of course, those funds go to maintaining the property.
Having a place to call home is important for veterans like Alvin Smith. The amputee says living here has changed his life after diabetes prevented him from working as a truck driver.
It was a blessing because I really got to the point where I was losing hope. They gave me hope.
Tadlock says she also wants to give veterans back a sense of purpose with a wood shop that's also in need of some TLC.
We have the building, we just do not have the tools to make it happen.
Veteran Jamie Lucafort says he loves woodworking and has a background doing sheetrock. He says a wood shop is something he would take full advantage of.
Somebody doing something and you have a product that's finished, you'd have pride, in your work, and it would build up morale, for PTSD.
Stephanie says while progress may have slowed down, she's not giving up hope.
I wholeheartedly believe and know that the Lord will make a way. He has thus far.
Tadlock says they're grateful for any kind of support, from volunteers to building supplies and monetary donations. To find out how you can help, visit 12newsnow.com. In Kirbyville, Ebony Coleman, 12 News.
Starting March 1st, the city of Nederland will begin enforcing new safety rules for e-bikes.
Yeah, it comes after several complaints about reckless riding, and some residents say this can't come soon enough. Now, they describe close calls with kids, driving past stop signs and weaving through the roads. Now, officials say more e-bikes, they've been spotted in the city since Christmas. And Police Chief Rod Carroll telling us that his department has received a steady stream of complaints ever since. Mayor Jeff Darby says the new rules are going to help keep the streets safe.
Anything to just give the police another tool to try to keep the streets of Nederland safe. And e-bikes were specifically mentioned in an ordinance for the first time because this is a relatively new technology. They seem to have blossomed on Christmas Day.
Chief Rod Carroll says riders, they can receive citations for violating the new ordinance.
The city of Nederland is also hosting a community meet and greet today with the finalists for city manager. It's from 10 to 11 a.m. at City Hall. The public can ask questions, share feedback, and take part in the selection process.
Bechtel Corporation, they're hosting an in-person job fair today at the Port Arthur Workforce Center. That event's going to give job seekers a chance to explore openings and connect directly with recruiters. That's going to run from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And the Boomtown Film and Music Festival, that's going to kick off today in Beaumont. It's going to be 4 days of films, live music, workshops, and special events. This is video from last year's event. This year, there's going to be screenings at Lamar University and the Jefferson Theater, concerts at For the Record Music Shop, and a Lifetime Achievement Award that's going to be given to local filmmaker O'Brien Stanley. There's a website there at the bottom of your screen for tickets and other information. Speaking of film, check out this. A big A-list action star who seems to get more popular by the day is going to hit the big screen yet again this weekend. But Glenn Powell, he is stepping into a very different role in How to Make a Killing. Rick Damagila has a preview.
Since the day I was born, my mother told me we were different. Yes, she had been disowned by her family, but someday I would become the sole heir. The real estate, planes, an island or two.
Glenn Powell plays a man out to claim his family's fortune in How to Make a Killing.
Whatever happened to the Redfellow family fortune?
I'll inherit it. Someday. His mother was part of this family, and to have him was sort of cast out, and her last dying wish was to basically get what he deserves in terms of the wealth of this family, and so he sees an opportunity to essentially systematically start taking out all of his heirs to get $28 billion.
And so he decides to take the bull by the horns and kill off everyone in line to the fortune ahead of him in order to get the fortune. And he does so over kind of a long period of time. So it's sort of like, I don't know, it's like American Psycho meets Forrest Gump or something.
Been occupied.
With what?
Occupations.
She's at a bit of a crossroads in her life, and I think she's actually looking for an out in the relationship, and that's when Beckett comes into her life. Right person. No, wrong person, wrong time. Wrong person, wrong time.
Have you heard about the Redfellows?
What about him?
I wonder who's next.
In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damagella.
All right, still ahead here on 12 News Plus. Police say have fun with AI while others put a new spin on an Olympic sport. Your trending news is coming up. Plus, Zydeco is alive and well thanks to local artists keeping the music alive. Its deep roots in the Black and Creole communities.
Share your pics and video with 12 News. Just go to the Near Me tab inside the 12 News Now app and click Share with Us. To the spot welders and forklift drivers. To the pipeline technicians and plant operators. To the chemists, custodians, and contractors. And the engineers, pilots, and wellhead pumpers. To the people working day after day, keeping our Power City rolling, 12 News is telling your stories.
Extended the temporary restraining order.
When industry news breaks, we're on the front lines, digging into the issue, filtering out rumors, and giving you the facts, direct from inside sources.
Lamar is working to protect Power City from hackers.
Taking on the story from all sides and all angles with award-winning coverage.
The company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Southeast Texas is a power city, and we're bringing the power to you. 12 News, putting Southeast Texas first.
As Texans, we have many reasons to be proud of the Lone Star State. Showing our pride by saying, "Don't mess with Texas," means we gotta step up, walk the walk. Do our part to keep Texas clean. Because after all these years, all these miles, all these traditions, for all us Texans, don't mess with Texas means don't litter.
It's time to honor our local educators with the 12 News Golden Apple Awards. Once a month, 12 News will surprise an educational staff member who has gone above and beyond to make a positive impact on the lives of Southeast Texas students. Nominate your educator by going to 12newsnow.com/Golden Apple to do your part in showcasing the heroes that make a difference both inside and outside the classroom. The Golden Apple Awards every month on 12 News.
From Dallas to Houston, San Antonio to Austin, It's the news that moves all of Texas. Texas News Now. One power-packed hour with enough Texas news to fill a 10-gallon hat. Your top headlines, weather alerts, and big travel updates. No matter where you're headed, across town or across the state, we've got Texas covered. Texas News Now. Weekdays, noon. Only on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Well, Zydeco music, it has deep roots in African American and Creole communities across Southeast Texas and Southwest Louisiana. 12 News reporter Derek Jones, he's in studio with more on the local artists keeping the music alive.
Mark, legendary artist Clifton Chenier helped bring Zydeco to a global audience, earning him the nickname King of Zydeco. Now his legacy continues to grow, inspiring people of all ages. Accordion and washboard are part of the foundation of Zydeco. Together, they create happy feet.
It puts you in a great mood, you know. It puts you in a good mood, almost like gospel. It's just when you listen to it, you just want to. Yeah, that's what it is. Like it's no better way to explain it.
The genre was created by legendary Zydeco artist Clifton Chenier, or the King of Zydeco, with a mix of traditional French Creole music with African American blues, rhythm, and soul. Now his legacy lives on through his son, the Crown Prince of Zydeco and Port Arthur native, C.J. Chenier.
When my dad called for me to go on a road with him as a saxophonist. So in 1978, before I made 21, I joined the Red Hot Louisiana band.
Zydeco has roots that go back 100 years, and although Chenier and his father had great success, the genre was not well accepted at first.
When he first started off playing this music, they had a lot of people that laughed at him. You know, it was a joke to them.
Now people dance to the music he created, learning and inspiring generation after generation, like Stephen Williams, the leader of Lil Steve and the Zydeco Futures.
My uncle, J. Paul, was in it. He's been playing Zydeco since I was a kid.
And creating longtime friendships for band member Christian Williams, who learned to play Zydeco from his father.
And I actually met Stephen Williams, our band leader, at a gig with my dad. And that was actually over 10 years ago.
Although the original Zydeco has changed and evolved over time, it still is creating happy feet and memories along the way.
A tree can't have branches if it don't have a trunk. It's got to have roots to grow. And Clifton Chenier was the roots of the Zydeco music.
For many in Southeast Texas, Zydeco isn't just music. This Black History Month, it's history, culture, legacy that continues to live on. In studio, Derek Jones, 12 News.
It's now 7:17 on this Thursday morning, and you walk out the door to some mild temperatures, maybe a lightweight jacket still, even though we see temperatures in the 60s and 70s. It's pretty damp out there. We have a lot of moisture in the atmosphere, and it feels a little bit cool. 71 right now in Silsbee, 70 in Kirbyville. Everywhere else, we're looking at some 60s, from 67 in Beaumont, Port Arthur, and Woodville to 68 in Jasper, and 66 right now in Orange. Here's a look down towards Port Arthur, and you can see we've had some fog down there this morning. Even a little bit of drizzle with the camera being wet there. This camera brought to you by Market Basket, part of the Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. A lot of moisture headed our direction. We have that southern jet stream just pushing in a lot of cloud cover, and we'll see mostly cloudy skies again for today. But that won't deter temperatures from getting up into the upper 70s for later on this afternoon, since we're already starting off around 70. So we'll see about a 10-degree warm up for later on this afternoon. Our futurecast takes us from the 60s to the 70s as we go through most of the day. We'll see maybe a sprinkle here or there, a little weak disturbance on futurecast, trying to bring a sprinkle, but the coverage is going to be less than 10% if we see anything today. And then as we head into this evening, temperatures back down into the 60s, and we'll stay right there into the middle to lower 60s going into tomorrow morning. Maybe a little bit of patchy fog tomorrow morning, but it looks like Saturday morning is going to be the day that we really see some fog out there ahead of that cold front from about 8 o'clock Friday night till 10 o'clock Saturday. Look for some very dense fog, and we'll see low visibilities. Use some caution driving if you're going to be out on Saturday morning. Maybe give yourself an extra few minutes, so we'll give you hopefully enough time to plan ahead, especially if you're taking out on a trip or something like that. You want to go leave out a little early if you want to stay on time. So weather impact alert, that's going to be for Friday night, Saturday morning. Mostly cloudy for today. No rain expected except for maybe a little bit of sprinkle. Southwesterly winds at about 10 to 15. And then for tonight, back down into the 60s. Mostly cloudy, a little bit of patchy fog, especially down towards the coast as we head towards your Friday morning. Friday, 30% chance of a few showers, 20% on Saturday as the front pushes through. And there's that red bar indicating that weather impact alert. After that, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Look for temperatures to be a bit cooler. We go from those 80-degree readings to lower 60s for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday with some chilly to cold mornings, especially Tuesday morning down in the 30s. And then Wednesday, back up into the lower 70s, so not too bad for the middle part of next week. And, you know, those 60s aren't bad. If you think about not too long ago, we're looking at highs in the 40s for about a week there. So I'll take those 60s. That's fine. I'll wear a jacket. I'll be good.
Okay. Who you trying to convince, me or you?
You.
Oh, me.
Yeah. Anytime you see temperatures under 70, red alarms going off.
Okay.
Don't put those sweaters away yet, is what Jeff's trying to say.
I'm not giving Jeff what he wants today.
No.
Nobody.
Don't entertain it.
Off camera. I got something to say.
Uh-oh.
All right, as we do that, just a reminder, you can
X-rated.
You can download our app at any time to get the latest on the weather. You can check the radar by going to the radar tab in the app. 7:20 right now. Let's do some trending news. The Plaquemines Parish Sheriff's Office in Louisiana, they made a post on Facebook thanking deputies for their hard work during Mardi Gras this year.
But one officer decided to have some fun, took things a step further.
Keep it gangsta, dog. Keep it gangsta, dog. Keep it gangsta.
You also see Jeff trying to do the dance. The hilarious and obviously artificial intelligent post is racking up views online. The officer that made this tell 12 News they had deputies working in New Orleans for 2 weeks during Mardi Gras. Thought this was a funny way to thank them. I saw this yesterday. I didn't think it was AI.
I'm disappointed.
Oh, the speed.
Yeah.
I'm just disappointed. It's Louisiana. The cops there should know how to dance for Mardi Gras.
How would you dance for Mardi Gras?
I'm not a cop working Mardi Gras. I'm just
almost
saying.
got you.
I'm just saying there's some talented ones out there. Get those guys on.
All right, Winter Olympics in Italy are exciting, and a fan favorite has always been curling.
Yeah, well, the St. Louis County Police Department, they decided to come up with their own version of the sport, and it's very fitting. It's called donut curling. All right, as you can see, they improvise with a Swiffer as their broom and a donut for their curling stone. The department posted this video saying that officers, they have been training for this year for their entire careers. And I'm sure that they have put in a lot of work right there. Just keep on sweeping away there till that donut gets all the way.
So fitting for them to use donuts.
Yes, it is. All right, well, a slew of new sodas are going to be hitting the shelves soon.
Apparently, the dirty soda trend sweeping the nation has started, influencing some of our favorite brands. And we can expect to find some fun new concoctions throughout 2026, like Dr. Pepper Creamy Coconut, 7-Up Shirley Temple, A&W Root Beer Float, and the Canada Dry Fruit Splash Strawberry. Snapple fans can expect a new look soon, bringing to life new colorful graphics and a logo that gives a nod to the brand's classic trademark. They better be careful with those new logos and stuff. You see what happened to, what was that, Cracker Barrel?
What happened?
Remember they changed the logo and people got upset and they changed it back or something like that?
Don't mess with a classic out
You know what
there.
I'm saying?
All right. Watch yourselves out there, guys.
Woo, it's very foggy from that view of Port Arthur. We'll be back.
This is a tornado on the ground.
And the roads are slippery.
We have a tropical storm warning.
Look at this water.
Street flooding in Boma.
It is going to get extremely cold.
The metal building blew away from a business.
Staying safe behind the wheel is imperative.
Find a safe spot, move to an interior room.
Just make sure you're staying safe.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
The STEM fields are providing opportunity to be part of the developments that will shape the future, and the Army National Guard is at the forefront of the movement. Soldiers can serve part-time and choose from dozens of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics jobs, working with cutting-edge technology and innovations. And the skills and experience they receive can open doors for them to civilian careers in the STEM world. Join a team that is taking the lead in STEM by talking to a local recruiter or by going to nationalguard.com/careers.
It's time to honor our local educators with the 12 News Golden Apple Awards. Once a month, 12 News will surprise an educational staff member who has gone above and beyond to make a positive impact on the lives of Southeast Texas students. Nominate your educator by going to 12newsnow.com/goldenapple. to do your part in showcasing the heroes that make a difference both inside and outside the classroom. The Golden Apple Awards, every month on 12 News.
No matter where we start, every mile brings us closer. And as Texans, we take care of each other along the way. We lend a hand, slow down, and take our time. At the end of the day, we all want to get home safe. Drive like a Texan. Kind, courteous, and safe.
We're working to get more information from Beaumont Police.
Join 12 News weekdays at 6 and 10 p.m., keeping you informed on what matters most.
And keep you safe when weather impacts your day.
Following the excitement with your team.
Covering local issues that matter in your community.
Watch 12 News at 6 and 10 p.m. and stream on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
At the bus stop, maybe a jacket this morning, even though temperatures are well up into the 60s. Still kind of damp out there, kind of cool. Warm at recess, 77, warm and 79 on the way home for this afternoon. Dense fog advisory along the coast. Coastal marine forecast for today calling for south winds at 10 knots, seas from 2 to 3 feet. Next high tides at 4:40 for this afternoon. Our sunrise was at 6:51. Our sunsets tonight at 6:08. Right now you can see south winds along the coast, 7 to 9 miles an hour. Water temperature into the middle 60s. Choppy conditions on the inland lakes and bays. Looks like a couple of warm days, maybe even a few showers tomorrow. Then some fog on Saturday before a cold front sweeps through. We'll take a look at what that front's going to be doing to our temperatures next week in just a few minutes.
And coming up on Daybreak here on 12 News Plus, police in Miami investigating a mother accused of leaving her 2 young children with an Uber driver for hours.
Plus, the campaign event hosted by Governor Greg Abbott yesterday in Southeast Texas. What you need to know before casting your ballot.
And the partial government shutdown seems poised to drag on. We have the latest on that coming up.
The time right now, 7:30. Actually, yeah, it is 7:30.
It sure is. Good morning, Southeast Texas. Thanks for joining us here on Daybreak on 12 News Plus. I'm Mark Armstrong.
And I'm Tia Johnson. As I said, it is 7:30. Let's take a look at your top stories this morning.
Jefferson County man is facing 4 felony charges. Steve Williams allegedly stole an SUV with a 3-year-old inside back in December, then abandoned the child in near freezing temperatures in Beaumont. Investigators say that he took the vehicle from Nederland and left the child on the side of the road. He was later found with a stolen firearm. The child was safely recovered and Williams was arrested.
Disgraced BISD electrician Calvin Walker now has until March 10th to file his appeal brief. But the 9th District Court of Appeals says this is his last extension. He'll stay out on bond as the state reviews if that lower court rightly revoked his bond over his more than $1 million theft from the district. A judge required him to turn over 3 properties and pay BISD $1,000 a month in restitution.
Liberty County fire officials, they are working to learn what caused Tuesday night's fire on the Omni recycling facility in Dayton. That's near Grand Parkway and Highway 90. The fire is out now and nearby schools and neighborhoods were unaffected. Appliances like washers, dryers, and refrigerators, they burned well into Wednesday afternoon as crews worked to keep the fire from spreading to other debris. All right, let's go ahead and take a live look outside from our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network here above Port Arthur. Jeff, is that dense fog I'm seeing there?
It's some fog, and then mixed with it is just a little bit of drizzle. It's very moist out there for this morning. Most places aren't seeing too much in the way of fog, but the air is just very moist, I guess you can say, so very humid. So you'll feel it when you walk out the door. It actually makes it feel a little bit cooler. Even though we're in the 60s, it feels a little bit cooler than that. So maybe a lightweight jacket this morning. 67 right now in Beaumont, also orange in Port Arthur, as well as Woodville. 70 in Kirbyville, 71 in Silsbee, and then 68 in Jasper. Here's a look over towards the Horseman's Western Store, and you can definitely see maybe a little bit of patchy fog, but not as thick as it was over towards Port Arthur. Our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network currently showing 68 degrees, humidity 100%, and a little bit of a northwesterly wind at about 5 to 6. Highs today will climb up close to 80 degrees. With south winds at about 5 to 15 miles an hour. Won't see any rain today, but very limited sunshine, a lot of cloud cover. And then as we head towards, looks like Friday night, Saturday morning, that's when we really expect the fog to thicken up. We do have a weather impact alert for that time with low visibilities. Need to take your time driving around.
Thank you, Jeff. We have some breaking international news. Police in the UK have arrested former Prince Andrew on his 66th birthday. Here is a live look at the Buckingham Palace. Law enforcement says Andrew was arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office, and detectives are searching 2 addresses linked to him. The same police agency that arrested Andrew previously said it was, quote, assessing reports about Andrews being linked to Jeffrey Epstein.
Miami law enforcement, they're investigating a mother accused of leaving her 2 young children with an Uber driver for 2 hours. It was captured on police body camera footage. Rosh Lowe has more.
You've been here for how long?
More than 2 hours.
Friday night, sunrise. You think she was drunk?
Usually.
Okay. What's up, guys?
She let it smell.
An Uber driver says a mom left her 2 young children, ages 3 and 4, in his car for 2 hours. He says she told him she would return in 3 minutes, but stopped answering her phone. Look at Sunrise Police with the children. How old are you? You know? You 3? Oh, 3? You're a big boy. You're strong. You're 4? The search is on for mom. Let's hit this hard. She's got to be somewhere. They find her.
Sit down. Because you just left your kids with an Uber, and we're all over town looking for you.
Because I don't have my actual phone. I don't have my car. I'm not in control of my situation.
You deserted your kids for 2 hours. That's what's going on. That Uber driver's been sitting with your kids waiting for you to come back for the past 2 hours.
You know what? That sounds like, honestly, like what probably happened. Because I don't have my phone. I just fixed my phone.
Why did you get out of the Uber?
Emily Sabagal arrested.
Just have to read you your rights. Don't. You're not going over. You're not free to go.
Cops say mom was drinking alcoholic beverages at a local establishment in the area earlier in the evening.
Oh, those are legit questionnaires that you should be asking.
And now we are seeing and hearing mom in her own words.
But you're not answering my question. Why did you get out of the Uber?
I get it, 100%.
Dramatic testimony was presented in court Tuesday during the Georgia trial of Colin Gray. Now, he's the father of Colt Gray, who allegedly shot and killed 4 people at Appalachia High School in 2024.
Colin Gray is accused of murder and manslaughter. Prosecutors say he bought his son the AR-15 style rifle used in the murders, even though others allegedly warned Gray his son could be a danger to others. Surveillance footage shown in court Tuesday captures the moment when special education teacher David Phoenix left a classroom after he said he heard a loud noise in the hallway. A warning then appears in the classroom announcing a hard lockdown, and students and another teacher head to the back of the room and huddle behind desks and chairs.
Yeah, you see there in the bottom right of your screen where Phoenix, he reappeared. He was shot in the hip and foot, and he was seen crawling back into the classroom. He lies down there on the floor just inside the doorway. He was one of the victims and witnesses who testified in court Tuesday. Now, besides the 4 people killed, 9 other people, they were injured in that attack. Gray has pleaded not guilty to the nearly 30 charges that he is facing. All right, 12 News is your election headquarters, and early voting is underway in the March primaries. Voters, they're going to decide which candidates are going to advance to the November elections. And candidates from across the aisle, they are encouraging voters to head to the polls.
Governor Abbott stopped in Beaumont for a Get Out the Vote event with a few other Republicans vying for state office. Hundreds gathered at Madison's in Beaumont for the rally, everyone from members of local law enforcement to city leaders. Among those speaking was Governor Greg Abbott, who faces a bid for re-election in a crowded Republican primary. Kelly Hancock, who's running for Texas Controller, Nate Sheets for Agriculture Commissioner, and Dr. Ray Callis, who's unopposed in the Republican primary to replace State House Representative Dave Phelan. Callis told 12 News Wednesday's event was about educating the community and getting people to the polls.
I make sure I understand the science and data before I make a decision. I think you need to do that. But make sure you exercise your God-given right. Get out and vote, because if you don't vote, you're not making a difference. Every American, every Texan should be voting.
He'll face Democrat Jackie Hernandez in November. Meanwhile, the governor encouraged Texans to keep Texas, Texas. Take a listen.
We have one collective goal. Today, every day, but especially in this election, in the primaries and in the general election, we have to keep Texas, Texas, and stop the invasion of all these foreign ideas.
Abbott is likely to face Democrat Gina Hinojosa, a state representative from San Antonio, in November. In a University of Houston poll among likely voters, he leads 49% to 42%.
Yeah, and her son Brian Lewis was killed while mowing the lawn last June. Adams thanked Governor Abbott yesterday for new legislation that is working to keep violent offenders detained.
Appreciate the bill that they're trying to pass.
No, it's passed.
Well, the bill that they passed for my son. And I was told by my pastor that everything that my son touched that was turned into gold.
Brian Lewis was allegedly shot and killed by a former friend at his home on Delaware.
Community leaders and guests also gathered for a Republican mixer last night. A state controller candidate and 4 legislative candidates representing Jefferson County were there. As heard from State Representative Christian Manuel, Dr. Ray Callis, Trent Ashby, and Brett Legone. Each discussed priorities facing the region and the importance of local representation at the state level. 12 News spoke with Texas Senate candidate Trent Ashby, who says Southeast Texas is his priority.
Southeast Texas is such a critical part of our state and national economy. And so I've had the great fortune to spend time on this campaign trail, not just in Jefferson County, but across Southeast Texas, learning what is so important to the people that are blessed to call this area home.
Ashby is running against Rhonda Ward for the District 3 seat. And early voting runs through February 27th. Election day is March 3rd. You can text the word VOTE to 409-838-1212 to receive a full voter's guide before you head to the polls.
Well, Newton County has to pay the state back to the tune of a hefty $806,000, and it's all tied to a flood buyback grant and stems from 7 homes that were damaged by floods in 2018 and 2020. Now, they were bought using grant funds, but the homes, they were not demolished in time. County Commissioner Bubba Powell says that the county had applied for extensions on the demos. They received them for 2 years, but then they were denied in 2023. Now the county has to pay it back with the $225,000 due by Tuesday. Commissioner Powell says that the county is moving forward with a payment plan.
At this time, the county has accepted the debt, and county officials are aligned on paying back the money that is said to be owed by TDM.
And the Commissioners Court, they're going to meet next week to determine which fund to use to pay the debt. The Sabine River Authority is also seeking nearly $400,000, claiming funds were issued for homes that were never purchased. County attorneys, they are reviewing that request. If both repayments stand, the total cost to Newton County could reach nearly $1.2 million.
The partial government shutdown over a Department of Homeland Security oversight seems poised to drag on, with lawmakers in the White House offering no signs of compromise. NBC's Alice Barr has the latest.
President Trump eyeing two fronts today, greeting world leaders at the inaugural meeting of his Board of Peace before heading to Georgia to talk up his economic policies. The battleground visit part of a push to get on the road and boost Republicans ahead of the midterm elections.
Georgia is obviously a very important state to the president and to the Republican Party.
The president set to focus on making life more affordable, as some federal employees are now working without pay, while the Department of Homeland Security is in a shutdown over Democrats' demands to reform ICE and Border Patrol tactics.
The ball is back in the court of the White House, because they have our most recent response.
The White House calling that proposal unserious, confirming President Trump has not had recent direct discussions with Democrats, despite his saying Monday that he'd sit down with them this week.
I will, but we have to protect our law enforcement. They've done a great job.
A growing number of Democratic lawmakers now planning to boycott the president's State of the Union Tuesday and instead join a counter-programming rally. The domestic divide coming as President Trump faces concern among longtime allies that his Board of Peace could undermine the United Nations. The Vatican saying Pope Leo will not join the board, following suit with allies like the UK and France.
The United Nations has great potential. They haven't lived up to the potential, but I think they might aid us a little bit.
The board expanding from its initial purpose to reconstruct Gaza, with the White House saying member states have pledged more than $5 billion toward aid and rebuilding. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Still ahead on Daybreak, grab your dancing shoes. 12 News reporter Derek Jones takes a closer look at how Zydeco music keeps Southeast Texas culture alive.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things.
You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it.
We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers.
We are normal people just like you.
And together, we can make a difference.
Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
409 Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses.
It's the heart that makes up the game, the triumph of the human spirit.
It's agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify a community.
We give you the stats, but then we inspire you with the stories. The unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable.
We bring it to you all, because sports lives in the 409.
As Texans, we have many reasons to be proud of the Lone Star State. Showing our pride by saying, "Don't mess with Texas," means we gotta step up, walk the walk. Do our part to keep Texas clean. Because after all these years, all these miles, all these traditions, for all us Texans, "Don't mess with Texas" means don't litter.
It's hard to really come to terms with dementia. There are little things that you can't even begin to plan for that happen that you need the early diagnosis for. My mom has done so much for me. There's no way that I wouldn't do the same for her. It's so important to have the conversation with your doctor earlier because you just do not know what the future holds.
Are you at the mercy of your bladder?
If leaks are keeping you from living your best life, you should know that it doesn't have to be that way. Incontinence can be treated. Don't wait to get the help you deserve. The National Association for Continence is a nonprofit organization that's helped millions get on the path to a life without leaks. Visit nafc.org now to download your free pelvic floor muscle training kit and become the boss of your bladder.
Zydeco music has long been a cornerstone of African American and Creole culture in Southeast Texas and Southwest Louisiana. A genre known for energetic rhythms continues to connect communities and preserve generations of history. 12 News reporter Derek Jones in studio with more. Hey, Derek.
Hey, Tia. The genre blends African American rhythms, blues, and French Creole influences, creating a sound centered around the accordion and washboard. Originally performed at house parties and community gatherings, Zydeco quickly became a way for people to celebrate their culture and share their stories. Legendary artist Clifton Chenier, who first began performing 80 years ago, helped bring Zydeco to national and international audiences, earning him the nickname King of Zydeco. Today, Zydeco continues to thrive in cities like Opelousas, Lake Charles, and throughout Southeast Texas, where artists perform at festivals, dance halls, and cultural events year-round. Artist Stephen Williams, with the leader of the Lil Steven and the Zydeco Futures, says without Clifton Chenier, there will be no Zydeco.
They paved the way, and a lot of Zydeco now is all remixes of what they've done. And if they never did it, what would we be doing?
When Zydeco became popular, many African American musicians were denied access to larger venues, radio airplay, and recording opportunities. So instead, artists often performed in rural dance halls and community spaces, relying on word of mouth to grow their audience. Despite facing discrimination, musicians like Clifton Chenier broke through those barriers, bringing Zydeco to national and international audience and helped preserve the genre. Zydeco continues to serve as a powerful connection to this region's history, bringing communities together through music and tradition. In studio, Derek Jones, 12 News.
Mild start this morning. Temperatures well up into the 60s, even showing a few lower 70s to start off on this Thursday morning. 67 right now in Beaumont, Orange, and Port Arthur. Also Woodville's at 67, then 68 in Jasper. Showing 71 in Silsbee and right at 70 degrees as you head up into Kirbyville. Outside, some areas look like this. Now this is down towards the coast. We're looking at Port Arthur, and not only is it foggy, but we have some water on the lens there. So it makes it look even worse than it is. But visibilities are way down there in Port Arthur, so be very careful. This camera brought to you by Market Basket, part of the Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. And you can see that moisture continue to stream in from the west, right along the southern jet stream. And we're going to continue to see mostly cloudy skies for today. It's going to be a warm day, expecting highs into the 70s, but not a lot of sunshine for today. You might even see a little bit of drizzle, especially down towards the coast, a sprinkle here or there, but nothing widespread as far as any rainfall for today. Temperatures climbing into the 70s. We'll get up into the upper 70s for later on this afternoon, and then we'll drop back down into the 60s as we head towards this evening. We'll stay in those 60s going into tomorrow morning. Maybe a little bit of patchy fog overnight, but we're not expecting anything widespread. As we get into tomorrow, we'll see about a 30% chance of a few showers here and there. We do have a weather impact alert. Now, that's not for this morning, but it is for, it looks like, Friday night into Saturday morning. From about 8 p.m. Friday night to 10 a.m. Saturday, we're expecting some very dense fog. We're talking about pea soup type stuff out there, and you're going to need to use some caution. Maybe give yourself extra time if you have a travel planned on Saturday morning. Might want to take out a little bit early. Our forecast for today, just mostly cloudy. Southwesterly winds at 10 to 15 and temperatures in the upper 70s. For tonight, we'll back off into the middle to lower 60s with south winds at 5 to 10. And once again, a little bit of patchy fog, especially down towards the coast. Our 7-day forecast shows a high of 80 on Friday with a 30% chance of a few showers, 20% on Saturday. Once that fog burns off, we'll get to about 80, and then cooler air comes in behind your cold front. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, expecting temperatures in the 60s. Morning lows are going to get cold, especially Tuesday morning, down to about 37 there. And then we go back up into the lower 70s by Wednesday.
That's what it makes me want to do, just deep
because the
dive.
30s, you think? Is that what's really doing it to you?
I just got to take it all in.
Yeah.
I'm just ready for it to be consistent.
Well, that's hard this time of year.
I know.
When you got the cold front, the only time we really get consistency is, unfortunately, like the summer.
Hey, see, yeah,
it's like 101,
that heat consistent.
29 days in a row, basically.
So, yeah. So, But this time of year, I like the difference in temperature. I like it going from one thing to another. It makes I think it makes it interesting. It makes it a little bit more fun.
It's your world.
It is. You're just living in it.
Thank you, Jeff and Tia. A prescribed burn is planned at the Big Thicket National Preserve. That's going to help to reduce local wildfire risk. Now, it's going to start today and it's going to run through next Friday, February 27th. Firefighters are going to be out there treating more than 3,400 acres in Hickory Creek and Turkey Creek. That's in Tyler and Hardin counties. Officials say that while some smoke may be visible, it shouldn't linger.
Yesterday was Ash Wednesday, the start of the Lenten season for Catholics and many other Christians. Bishop David Toops of the Diocese of Beaumont says Lent is a time of reflection, prayer, and preparation leading up to Easter. Church leaders placed ashes on worshipers' foreheads as a sign of repentance and a reminder that life is temporary.
Hey, happening today, the Islamic Society of Triplex in Beaumont, they are hosting an event to celebrate Ramadan. Now, there's going to be remarks by elected officials and community leaders, prayer, and a dinner after. Everyone's welcome to celebrate this evening of reflection during the month of Ramadan, which runs through March 19th. The event starts at 5:30 at the mosque on West Cardinal Drive.
Daybreak is giving away 4 tickets to see Aretha tribute at the Symphony of Southeast Texas March 7th. To enter, go to 12newsnow.com/contest. You have until 6:30 a.m. next Friday, February 27th. And the winner will be announced that morning at the end of our 6 o'clock hour. You'll be notified by email if you win.
We also want to help you enjoy your spring break. So over the next 5 weeks, we're giving away tickets to Moody Gardens every Friday. Winners, they're going to get a family 4-pack of tickets. And then the grand prize winner, they're also going to get a 1-night hotel stay for 2 adults and 2 kids and a round of golf for 2. Again, to enter, go to 12newsnow.com/contests.
When Daybreak returns on 12 News Plus, we'll have more news and weather in your morning rush out.
From Dallas to Houston, San Antonio to Austin, it's the news that moves all of Texas. Texas News Now. One power-packed hour with enough Texas news to fill a 10-gallon hat. Your top headlines, weather alerts, and big travel updates. No matter where you're headed, across town or across the state, we've got Texas covered. Texas News Now. Weekdays, noon. Only on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
To the spot welders and forklift drivers, to the pipeline technicians and plant operators, to the chemists, custodians, and contractors, and the engineers, pilots, and wellhead pumpers. To the people working day after day, keeping our Power City rolling, 12 News is telling your stories.
Extended the temporary restraining order.
When industry news breaks, we're on the front lines, digging into the issue, filtering out rumors, and giving you the facts, direct from inside sources.
Lamar is working to protect Power City from hackers.
Taking on the story from all sides and all angles with award-winning coverage.
The company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Southeast Texas is a Power City, and we're bringing the power to you. 12 News, putting Southeast Texas first.
This is a tornado on the ground.
And the roads are slippery.
We have a tropical storm warning.
Look at this water.
Street flooding in Beaumont.
It is going to get extremely cold.
The metal building blew away from a business.
Staying safe behind the wheel is imperative.
Find a safe spot, move to an interior room.
Just make sure you're staying safe.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
No matter where we start, every mile brings us closer. And as Texans, we take care of each other along the way. We lend a hand, slow down, and take our time. At the end of the day, we all want to get home safe. Drive like a Texan. Kind, courteous, and safe.
Welcome back to Daybreak, 7:54 right now. It's time for your morning rush out.
Here's everything you need to know as you start your day. First up, starting March 1st, the city of Nederland will begin enforcing new safety rules for e-bikes. It comes after several complaints about reckless riding and reports of close calls with kids driving past stop signs and weaving through roads. Police Chief Rod Carroll tells us riders can receive citations for violating the new ordinance.
City of Nederland also hosting a community meet and greet today with the finalists for city manager. That's going to be from 10 to 11 a.m. at City Hall. The public, they can ask questions, share feedback, and take part in the selection process.
Bechtel is hosting an in-person job fair today at the Port Arthur Workforce Center. The event gives job seekers a chance to explore openings and connect directly with recruiters. It runs from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Hey, listen up. The Boomtown Film and Music Festival, that's kicking off today in Beaumont. That's going to be 4 days of films, live music, workshops, and special events. There's going to be screenings, concerts, and more. Check out the website there at the bottom of your screen for tickets and other info.
And once we get the clouds to lift a little bit, we have some low-level clouds out there. We'll see temperatures climb up into the upper 70s today. It'll be a little bit on the muggy side, and we'll continue with that through Friday and Saturday. Matter of fact, with so much moisture in the atmosphere, Saturday morning we have a weather impact alert for some very thick fog we're thinking it's going to form before that cold front finally goes through. Once it does go through, cooler temperatures and clearer skies for Sunday into early next week.
Reasons to Smile. Sponsored by Reisinger and Vols Orthodontic Specialists.
All right, here's a reason to smile. Lamar University baseball team, they nabbed a 4-1 win over the Kansas Jayhawks last night. Too bad, Jeff. And while LU coach Will Davis and everyone else in Southeast Texas is proud of our Cards, our opinions, they pale in comparison to that of Jeff. No, not our Jeff. We're talking about Jeff the cat right there. This photo was posted to the LU baseball Facebook page last night with a caption, "Jeff the ballpark cat approves tonight's Lamar win." It seems that he runs things out there at Vincent Beck Stadium.
I didn't see Jeff when I was out there last night. I wish I would have saw Jeff.
That's because the real Jeff was in the house.
I just would have lied to Team Jeff.
Me too, Jeff. Thanks for watching Daybreak here.
We'll be back at 11.
Have a great day, everybody.